Lamm. I'm a member of Statewide Poverty Action Network. My mother came to the United States as an immigrant from the Philippines. Coming from a third world country, my mother was not aware of resources available to her and worked hard and diligently to keep us from becoming homeless and provide resources that we needed for daily living. She worked 60 hours plus a week, and with all of her working, we never even met middle class standards. This situation of poverty was passed down to me. There was little that I would ever have been able to do outside of pure luck to change the position. I understand the cycle of perpetual poverty produced through generations, and I am a direct product of this. I refuse to bring this cycle to my son's life, which is why I'm here sharing my story today. I got into TANF because I was working in a training program where I was paid a small stipend. But after this program, I became unemployed, and I stayed on TANF for about 9 months while looking for a job. At the time, the only kind of schooling that was offered through TANF was a handful of technical degrees. I knew what I wanted was a career for life. Because of my struggle with poverty, I wanted to make sure that as I moved out of this situation, this would be something that I would never have to come back to. I tried to get a job that I loved and hoped it would turn into a career where I could develop a working family wage, but I came to realize that I needed a college degree for all of these jobs. I talked with my social worker, asked her if I could get into college, and many times she told me that I wasn't able to get into college through TANF. I decided that I was going to get a college education, so I put myself on an incredibly tight budget and tried to build a safety net while I was talking to several agencies about going back to school. I navigated through the financial aid system and started receiving scholarships and went to Seattle Central Community College. I ended up transferring to the University of Washington and have 2 credits till I received my BA. This could have happened while I was on TANF, but the program rules discourage recipients to get into college. Getting into college was a full-time job in itself, which is why I walked away from the system. This was scary for me because I didn't know if I was going to succeed or just end up back where I started. Luckily, I didn't. I believe that TANF is an essential Washington service to low-income people and people of color to gain footing outside the cycle of poverty, but more revenue needs to be funneled into this service so it works properly. My life as a single low-income mother of color who is trying to educate myself and my son, meanwhile keeping us healthy, was already a lot. In all reality, I just needed support to help us succeed. I asked that no funding cuts be made. I asked that more revenue and educational opportunities be put towards the service so that others can gain support to move out of poverty. Thanks for your time, and thank you for letting me share my story.